when a little girl in a yellow dress steps into one of Mexico City's most prestigious corporate buildings and calmly announces, "I'm here for my mom's interview." No one could imagine the chain of events she was about to set in motion. What starts as an innocent gesture becomes a powerful revelation, one that forces a wealthy CEO to see the world through different eyes, and ultimately to change it. The silver elevator rose steadily to the 35th floor, each passing number flickering like a countdown. But inside, it wasn't a high-powered executive preparing for a meeting. It was 8-year-old Isabella Morales, standing in polished black shoes, gripping a worn leather folder nearly the size of her torso. Her yellow dress, carefully ironed by her own tiny hands the night before, was a bold splash of color in a place of gray suits and granite floors. She wasn't there for play. She had come to fight for her mother's future. As the elevator door slid open, the office floor fell into a stunned silence. Conversations stopped. Coffee cups froze mid-air. The sight of a little girl walking confidently up to the reception desk was a disruption no one saw coming. "Excuse me," she said with a polite firmness. "I'm here to attend my mom's interview." The receptionist, Carmen, stared for a moment, then blinked. Your mom's interview?" "Yes, for the HR supervisor position. My mom, Sophia Morales, couldn't come today. She's in the hospital, so I came instead." People began to gather, drawn by the honesty in the child's voice and the strength behind her words. She wasn't rehearsing. She wasn't pretending. She was just being the daughter of someone she believed in. That's when the executive elevator opened and out stepped Diego Hernandez, the powerful CEO of Grupo Empresarial Azteca. Known for his razor-sharp decisions and intimidating presence, Diego was not the kind of man easily rattled. Until now. "What's going on?" he asked, stopping mid-step. Isabella turned, looked straight at him, and said, "Are you the boss?" "Because I need to talk to you about my mom." For the first time in years, Diego felt completely caught off guard. There was no arrogance in her tone, just sincerity and quiet courage. Something stirred in him. He cleared his throat. "Carmen, bring her to my office." In the CEO's sleek glass office, Isabella stood at the edge of his massive desk and began to speak, not with childish whimsy, but with heartfelt purpose. "My mom is the hardest worker I know," she said. "She skips meals so I can eat. She studies at night when I'm asleep. But when companies see she has a child, they stop listening." She opened the worn folder and placed a stack of documents on the table, resumes, certificates, reference letters, all evidence of a career cut short not by lack of ability, but by prejudice. "Moms are the best employees," she added. "They don't waste time. They fix things quickly. They're used to doing everything." Diego leaned back in his chair, speechless. In all his years of running a company, no boardroom presentation had ever hit him like this. He looked at her and said softly, "Isabella, I'll go visit your mom. I promise nothing yet, but I want to talk to her." The girl beamed and hugged him tightly. For a man used to cold handshakes and calculated deals, the gesture hit him like a wave. It wasn't strategic. It wasn't manipulative. It was pure. Later that day, Diego walked into a crowded public hospital and found Sophia Morales sitting upright in bed, papers in her lap. When Isabella rushed in ahead of him, Sophia immediately stiffened. "Isabella, what did you do?" "I went to your interview, Mom," she said. "You worked too hard to miss it." Sophia's expression turned from panic to disbelief as Diego stepped forward. "I'm Diego Hernandez. Your daughter gave the best interview I've ever seen." Sophia narrowed her eyes. "If this is pity, I don't want it. I'm qualified." Diego nodded. "You are. That's why I'm offering you the position. And something else. I need your help fixing a system that's broken." On her first day as HR supervisor, Sophia walked into the boardroom with confidence, but resistance greeted her immediately. She presented data no one wanted to see. "Mothers," she said, "have 23% higher retention rates and lower absenteeism." Patricia Vega, the long-standing HR director, whispered to Diego, "This will destroy morale." "No," Sophia replied, overhearing, "this will destroy ignorance." But behind the scenes, sabotage brewed. Patricia manipulated evaluations, and Roberto from finance warned Diego of potential legal exposure. Sophia stood her ground. In a tense HR audit meeting, Patricia claimed Sophia's evaluations were biased. Sophia calmly held up a report. "Ana Martinez and Maria Vasquez have identical records, but Ana, a single mother, scored 15% lower. Why?" The room fell silent. Diego, his jaw tight, ordered an investigation. The results were staggering. For years, the company had used internal profile codes to quietly discriminate against parents, especially single mothers. "We've been violating labor laws," the legal director admitted, visibly shaken. 6 months later, at a press conference attended by journalists, employees, and stakeholders, Diego and Sophia sat side by side. Between them stood Isabella, once again in her yellow dress, now a symbol of courage. "Since these reforms," Diego said, "we've seen a 35% drop in employee turnover and a 28% rise in productivity." But it was Isabella who moved the crowd the most. "People are like books," she said. "If you only look at the cover, you'll miss the best stories." The room erupted in applause. As the three of them left the stage, Isabella squeezed both their hands. "When good people help each other," she whispered, "magic happens." This story reminds us that true strength doesn't always wear a suit or carry a title. Sometimes it walks into a boardroom in a yellow dress with nothing but truth in its heart. Isabella's bravery shows that even the smallest voice can create the loudest change. Her mother's resilience challenges a system that too often overlooks those who carry invisible burdens. We learn that compassion and fairness aren't signs of weakness. They are the foundations of real leadership. Companies thrive not just through profits, but through people. And when we stop judging others by their circumstances and start seeing their potential, we unlock a world of talent, loyalty, and growth. Never underestimate the power of one voice, one act of courage, or one little girl who believes her mother deserves a chance. If this story touched your heart, don't let it end here. Share it with someone who needs hope. Like if you believe in fair chances. And subscribe for more stories that prove one act of courage can change everything.